Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Studio Series 112 Transformers One's Optimus Prime. And we have a deluxe class Studio Series figure in front of us with a deluxe class base, the Transformers One version of Cybertron and that version of Optimus Prime. He is, I think, looking like decently alien enough. It's really just he's got some extra bits up front. But I'll start with the alt mode because I always do, but this is where also my disappointment starts. We have these casters, and the idea behind the casters is I think he has like a hover mode. He does roll fine, but because we have, these transparent blue casters here, I really wish we had transparent blue casters up front. They also don't have the same width, and if you can see kind of his body doesn't support them fully. Things start coming undone. There's a lot of hollow space up front here, where like if you push him down, whereas I think if he had like proper wheels or maybe just the same width instead of these two, like these not being in line with each other, they wouldn't, as you're rolling him or pushing him down, his arms wouldn't want to separate as much as they do. And they really, really do. If you can see, like I've got arms popping off here. These hinges here are not connected. And the hands, they stick out like they're just hanging out here. Those are just his robot hands. It really looks like 90%, like not 90, that's not fair. Like 75% of his robot mode is just here. We can tell the feet, the legs, the arms, his head is somewhere up in that cab. And that is disappointing. I think if this was the mainline Optimus, I'd be okay with this. But for Studio Series, I'm expecting more. I'm expecting these hands to have folded away. I'm expecting flaps to come out to close this up. This is a $25 deluxe, and it's not living up to what the expectation of Studio Series is. And I've talked about this before, that with Studio Series, when it first started, these toys were coming out way after the movies, way after the first version of the characters came out in toy form. So they were essentially redos where the engineering had improved, the manufacturing had improved, we got better toys. Now that Studio Series is just coming out alongside of the movie, it's really losing its identity to me. This doesn't feel like a Studio Series toy. This feels like it could just be a mainline toy, and that is disappointing. I also don't love these colors. I think I like the red and the blue. There's a little bit of like painted tan here, but this tan here, I don't mind the fact that it is tan instead of like gray or white. But this version, it's like that prototype gray plastic they used to use. It just sucks in all the greeble details. It turns into just a visual mush in my eyes instead of something distinct. Other than that, I mean, there's not much to say here. There's nothing like moving here. There's storage for his axe, which you can, it's pegged in here. You can pop out and get that out of the way. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Look at like there's only one joint here connecting them. There should be one on the back end, there should be one on the front end, so that you can't like squeeze things together and then like things pop off and now this is off. Like it's frustrating. It doesn't feel good in my hand. It doesn't feel solid the way other Transformers toys. And for this to be Optimus Prime and feel like this is really, really disappointing. I mean, we'd have a little bit of color on the tail lights here. This piece is painted. There's a little bit of color on this headlight here. We've got the matrix. But other than that, there's just not much going on. The transformation, it is a deluxe. The transformation is very simple. We're going to start by popping off these arms. It's going to disconnect the elbows from these pegs here. We can take this section. It is parts formery. This section comes off. Come on. And you don't have to have it on the cab, but it does cover up these holes nicely. With those arms out of the way, we can separate out the legs. We can bring each leg section down and then flip it around. This piece, like so, flipping out the toes. There we go. I also don't like, if you see, like I've got, because I tucked the toes in all the way, I've already got stress marks. That's frustrating. Things just aren't, the fit and finish doesn't feel good. Up top, we can, oh, this piece, I fucking hate this piece. This is his waist, and it's just like, it's It's literally just a friction joint on. I'll put that back on later. This piece comes undone. We can bring up and out on either side these shoulder sections, and then they collapse back in like so on either side. Lift up his whole torso, flip in the front of the cab, then it collapses down. I do like that. I mean, that's a nice way to get his, like, you know, mono boob out. Bring out his neck platform, flip that head around, flipping this piece around, which this, again, doesn't super secure, doesn't, like, sit super securely. Flipping around his torso kind of brings his mono boob back into, like, proportion, and then we can bring on this waist piece, clip this back on. Oh, I cannot believe, like, this is truly, I really don't like this. The fact that this comes off so easily. The fact that it's a single piece. Why is that a single piece? Why aren't those like individual flaps to give them a little more articulation? This piece is supposed to friction joint back here. Like so. And we can give him his axe. And look, starting out, like, just as a toy, like the design, the visual design, I like this. I like these proportions. I like how long the legs are. I like how squat the torso is. It feels heroic and alien at the same time. It feels like I'm surprised this isn't like Orion Pax, because like it feels like a pre-Optimus. That being said, the colors, again, this tan just eats up all the visual detail. You know, all that greeble, like, maybe it comes out better on camera, but in person, it just kind of all melds together. It really melds together on this, like, forearm section. The head sculpt seems nice enough, but doesn't seem characterful, doesn't seem to really match the movie head sculpt, which surprised me. Like, that's another one of those things where it's like, did they prototype? Like, is this based off a work in progress model and it doesn't match things fully? Why would you do that in Studio Series? Just wait for the movie to be out for the final versions. The neck joint is kind of in an odd spot, so he can look up, he can tilt to the sides, but he can't really look down very far, which is a little odd, but he is a deluxe, so he doesn't really need to look down. The platform rocks a little bit. We get 360 on the arm, but it does run into things. You just got to push it out a little bit, not a big deal. You can go out that far. You do have bicep swivel. You do kind of have a butterfly joint here, which is nice. You can kind of get things up. They'll knock into each other, so you got to kind of break the sculpt up, but you can do that. You got a 90-degree bend on the elbow. You do have wrist swivel. You can go out very far, but that is not a full Van Damme. I don't consider that a full Van Damme. Kicking, the piece gets out of the way mostly, but man, if it could collapse just a little more, that'd be nice. And look, like, this piece is just coming off as I'm playing with it. That's annoying and fiddly and dumb. On the back, we can go back that far before the backpack gets in the way. We do have thigh swivel. We do have a slightly deeper than 90-degree knee bend, and that is a good look right there. I do like kind of that right there. So yeah, we have the thigh swivel. We do have ankle tilt, which is very deep, and toe tilt. So, you know, he can get into some good poses here if you want to get him out and slashing, or some sort of, like, God, I really freaking hate, like, I fucking hate this. This is so frustrating. You can, you know, if you want to get him up and get him, like, doing some sort of diving attack, maybe something like this. Like, that, like, looks cool. Like, he's coming in with the people's elbow and an Energon axe. I dig that. But the fiddliness to play with him, like, that hand feel is awful. It feels terrible. This is bad. This piece, I really wish it locked in place somewhere. I hate that flaps around. He does have Matrix. I know I'm voicing my frustrations, but I do want to talk about the good stuff. I like this a lot. So this Matrix can come out. It is nicely painted. And this is the coolest thing to me. He's got divots on his fists that can come in, and we can key the Matrix in. And over here, he can hold his Matrix like so, which is neat. But it's a deluxe, and it's a Studio Series deluxe, and I expect a certain amount of quality from Studio Series that I just have not been seeing. Ever since it feels like Beast Wars, like, I feel like Bumblebee, like, we got some good toys out of Bumblebee, but Beast Wars just has been hit or miss. This, especially for an Optimus, right? think about how much care gets put into an Optimus toy. We're talking about, this is the same character that got like, right, that game that is never coming out. Well, maybe it is coming out. They made this toy for that game. That's awesome. This is so disappointing in terms of quality of the figure. The engineering, the manufacturing tolerances, everything just takes a little bit away. Like I said, I like the design, and that's probably the most excited I am about a Transformers movie since Bumblebee. But Studio Series, by doing these simultaneous releases, they are failing on the quality that is associated with the sub-brand, and that is really disappointing. That being said, this is not a giveaway yet. I'm waiting to get Megatron. I figure I might as well do a giveaway in the 2-pack. We'll see. Hopefully Megatron turns out better. But that is it for today's video. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye!